Heyo! Happy 2025, everybody. First stream of the year. If you've been following on Twitter, Blue Sky, whatever, you're here because you know that I'm upgrading some of my quote-unquote side projects. Notably, in this case, the BaseCode field guide. So I have a couple courses out there: Confident Laravel, Laravel, BaseCode field guide. Git, kind of the original, the OG course that I made. And all of these are Laravel applications. They have just a little portal for you to view the videos and download the materials for those courses, all built in Laravel. Over the years, I've kept them up to date, but I noticed a few of them were running Laravel 9, and I'm not able to run PHP 8.4 with Laravel 9. I think I'm on 8.2 or 8.3 right now, so I want to kind of do as a new year, broken windows, cleaning things, little housekeeping, start the year off right. I want to get up to PHP 8.4, so I got to get all my projects up to the latest, greatest Laravel. So I did a lot of them on Sunday, or over the weekend. I did a lot of them, and then I realized, you know what? Let's just do a quick stream, see how JMac uses Shift, some of the insights from that. So here's BaseCode field guide. It's actually kind of a mono repo. The Laravel application is underneath site. So here's kind of the structure that you would expect, of course, for a Laravel application. And we see here from a very long time ago, the Laravel 9.81 Shift, which is automated for me, is the last thing years ago that I ran. So let's get this thing updated, right? So I'm gonna jump out to Shift. Again, I'm gonna use Shift to do this. You can of course do this manually, but Shift is awesome, right? I know the guy that made it, so yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Let's purchase. Actually, I've got a plan, so we don't need to purchase, but let's sign in with GitHub, and then let's copy our stuff. Boom. BaseCode field guide. We'll go off master. We'll run this. And again, since I'm part of a plan, I don't need any credit card stuff here. I've got the everything plan, so I can run this on my sites. There we go. It's queuing up. Oh, I actually ran this. Oh no, I closed that. I closed that when I realized we were going to do it live. So here we go, running in the background. Let's see what happens. Hat's falling off. We had like a little bit of a snowpocalypse here, so it's a little chilly in the basement. Stay warm. So we should get a PR here in just a second. And kind of going back to the site structure, just a little insight on Shift, again, why I kind of wanted to make the videos. Shift is smart enough, if you have any kind of mono repo, to figure out where your Laravel application is. So you don't need to like point it to a lower directory or anything like that. It figures that out based on the location of Artisan. If you have multiple Laravel applications in a single repository, it's going to do them alphabetically. So BaseCode field guide would come before Laravel Shift or something like that, if I had all these in like one repo somehow. And of course, you can control that if you did have multiple Laravel applications and you needed it to run on not the first one alphabetically. But again, Laravel Shift is smart enough to figure out where your project is and which folder structure it should be looking at. So cool. Okay, that finished. Let's go check out the PR. Now, what I like to do when I get the PR, I like to just kind of quickly scroll through the comments. And if I have a test suite, which I do in this case, honestly, if I'm on an older version, I just merge it. I know that I'm going to the latest version. I don't want to take a lot of time here. I want to just do all the work kind of at the very end. So I'm really just scrolling through the comments here to see if there's anything that I need to do before I merge, meaning like it found some kind of bug, or there was some kind of like syntax error that was introduced, or anything, like any of the X comments. So I'm just going to kind of quickly look over these. Again, as the creator of Shift, like I feel like all of these are fine. I'm cool with taking type hints. So a lot of these info things I just kind of gloss over. I can come back and read them later. This one doesn't bother me either. I like the config files, and I know again they're going to get slimmed out in Laravel 11. So again, it's not worth really doing the changes here because so much changes between the Laravel versions. You might spend 20-30 minutes making a change here that the next shift picks up and it becomes obsolete, right? Like I might be adjusting some middleware that I customized here when Laravel 11 is just going to get rid of that middleware. or it's not in the skeleton anymore, right? So why spend the time making it look like Laravel when Shift is just going to fix that for you on the next one? So I just like to kind of keep running these provided there's nothing alarming in the comments. So again, these don't bother me. I know these all still exist. Laravel UI, Sentry, all that stuff. It's fine that those bumped. Looks like I have an old test suite, so I can run the PHP unit 10 shift. Again, that's fine. I can do that at the very end. Renamed and created a migration, all good. Again, type hints are fine with me. I'm not going to revert anything. I don't really use a lot of Symfony directly, but just a comment here that I might. Okay, I can convert to Vite. Again, that's fine. Laravel 10 requires Composer. Laravel 10, okay, all that's fine. Again, end of life. Now, I'm going to have a failing build because I haven't run Composer update and I haven't made those PHP Unit 10 adjustments. Again, I know that, I'm accepting that, and I'm just going to keep moving on. So this is just kind of the pro usage, the power user usage of Shift. So I'm just going to go ahead and squash merge this, and I'm going to confirm that. I didn't see anything alarming here. Everything here is just kind of like a warning comment or an info comment. I didn't have any X's in this case. And so because of that, I'm totally fine going on to the next shift, letting it do all of its automation, and then kind of putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, if based on these comments. But there's nothing alarming here. Anything here is just kind of letting me know I got to run migrations or other shifts that I can run. So let's go back to the dashboard. I'm going to refresh this, and we're going to run the Laravel 11 shift. Pre-fills everything in, thank you. Let's run it. So that should take just a second. While it's doing that, let's go ahead and do a git fetch. And oh, we're gonna have a new shift branch. So let's just wait on that for a second. Feel free to throw any questions about shift or upgrades or whatever in the comments. I'll take a peek here in a second while we're waiting. Hey Bernard, how's it going? JT, what's up? Lynn, how's it going? Cool. Oh, I meant to time all this. I kind of said on social media I was going to see if I could do it in under 20 minutes. According to my recording here, we're 7 minutes and 30 seconds in. Now I chatted for a few minutes of that, but we'll go by the recording. We'll be super strict. So let's see if I can get all the way to 11 in under 20 minutes. Okay, that's done. Okay, so now that we're on the latest version, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to do the things that it kind of tells me to do. I'm going to review some of these commits. So again, same thing. I'm just going to kind of scroll through here, but I'll do it a little bit more slowly to make sure that, you know, I'm doing the stuff that it says to do. So let's do exactly that. I'm going to copy this branch. So I'm going to check out this branch. So let's do git fetch. We don't need to say origin. Okay, I'm going to check out that branch. There we go. All right, review all pull request comments. Okay, so it says do this first before running Composer. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, so it slimmed it. Again, as the author, I know that, but again, a lot of these informational things give you that insight that kind of I'm not saying right now. So it slims it. It no longer requires you to have the configuration files. So Shift right now streamlines those. You can bring them all back if you want to maintain all of the core files if you want, but I like using the envs. To that point, this lets me know any env values that may have changed between versions or I might have been customizing. The big one here actually is the default connection now is SQLite. So you'll want to make sure to bring that across. Another kind of got you sometimes is if you're doing encryption and you don't do rehashing is enabled by default, but if for some reason the new strength, I guess is what they call that, but basically you may need to set this to 10 instead of the new default, which is 12. So if you're experiencing any issues there. Some other ones, you know, session drivers, database, I think the cache stores database. These are all kind of common gotchas. So while this might look like it's default stuff right here, these envs are gonna matter. So Shift sniffs those out, anything that's custom, and kind of lets you know about these. So, you know, you probably want to copy those and throw them in your .env file. Same thing, some more stuff changed. Again, shift automated. I'm going to trust it to do its thing. Laravel discovers policies. Shift detected you had policies. Do I have policies in this app? Let's go find out. So let's go look, or let's bring this up. I don't think I have policies under here. Let's go down to site, app. Yeah, I don't have any policies. It must have. We'll look at the actual code, but my guess is it probably saw the old like model policy that's there as an example. That's my guess. So I think I'm gonna say thumbs down on that. I'm gonna come back to that post stream. Probably shouldn't say that. I don't have listeners either. What's going on here? Do I have listeners? I don't. We're gonna have to look at it and see what it found. I'm gonna thumbs down that. I feel like shift should be smarter. I didn't really have any. What's up with my exception handler? Why wasn't that slimmed? Oh, I bet you I'm using Sentry. I am. That's the old way to do Sentry. I could do that. I could do that too. Sentry seems pretty common. Why can't I do that? I thought I'm doing that. I thought I'd do that. Okay, let's start fixing stuff. So instead of re-registering this as it might recommend, I am going to do this the new slim way. So let's get into Bootstrap. Bootstrap app, if I can type, there it is. Let's go down here. What is it? It's like integration. Laravel Sentry integration. There we go. Require it. Here it is. Boop, boop, boop. Give me that. And give me that. Let's go back up here. All right, cool. When we run Composer Update, that should all remove the squigglies. Okay, so we did this, but I'm gonna see, I thought I had shift. Oh, I'm using Laravel Collective? Really? What am I using this for? HTML : : okay, a bunch of mail tos. Yeah, that's not worth it. Okay, I do have an HTML converter as noted in the comments. So as noted in the comments, you can actually run, if I was doing like form open and form label and all that stuff, this is out here. I could just go run this as the comment's suggesting. But from my quick search, I'm only doing this to kind of put a mail to tag out. I can just make that HTML. So, and half of these are like, I could probably like copy and replace that because they're all the same JMac, other than a couple. So I'm going to just make that raw HTML, I think. So I don't need to migrate to that. So thank you, but no. But there's an example of an X. This would be a blocker because you can't run Composer Update until we remove that. So to the point, see you later. Okay, shift updated your dependencies. Okay, so there's Sentry, and we did the new Sentry thing already, so we're ahead of the game. We will need to run this to probably get our tests going. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up in the background just to run that here in a second. Base controller is marked as abstract. So because of that, this is pretty uncommon, but what it's saying is if I had any methods in here, just need to double check those. And it actually, no, the skeleton doesn't include these anymore. It would rather you use the facades, the gate facade or the validator facade directly. But it's a legacy app, so Shift doesn't remove these necessarily. Do I do any change columns? This is kind of another nasty one in Laravel 11. Do we have any change? Do I have any change columns in my migrations? We do. We do. It's allowed to be nullable. Okay. I have a couple options here. Option number one is a little nasty, but since it's just in one place, I could fix this to be the new Laravel 11 way. And what that means is that when you run a change migration, you have to specify all of the modifiers of the columns like current state, right? So if this string was only 1,000, if it was originally declared as 1,000 characters in length, I would need to go in here and make sure that this mirrored that, right? it would say string transaction ID, comma 1000. So it requires a little bit of back tracing to go see. Now, since this is just one column, that would be the easiest solution. If you're doing change 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and you've got hundreds of migrations, it's going to be pretty hard to go see what that is at each stage of the application. Remember, these are snapshots, historical snapshots of a state of your application. And as such, tracking all that can be a little mind-bending. So the more common solution is to just squash your migrations. I actually like this solution a lot better, even for just one column, because squashing your migrations, especially if you have a really old app with a lot of migrations, can actually be a performance improvement, especially when you're doing things like running tests, right? Because then it can just preload a single SQL file instead of doing a bunch of file I/O to run, 100 migrations. So I think I'll probably do this. For now, I'm going to live with it because it's just one column, but I think I will end up squashing the migrations. So I'm just going to put some little eyeballs here to remember to kind of come back and refactor that. Okay, depending on Docker, okay, so we can remove deval because I don't need this change migration anymore. That's the only reason deval was ever in there. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right, so that's good. Okay, we have some track affiliation. Oh, yeah, okay. Originally, when I launched the course, there was some affiliation stuff. I'm actually just going to remove that. I'm just going to remove all that because there's no more affiliation because it's free now. You can get the BaseCode field guide for free. Okay, Laravel 11 updates timestamps and infinite micro. Okay, so I'm going to come back to this one in a second. I'm going to talk about the configuration file slimming in just a second. So let's come back. Here's that little notice about like, hey, a lot of the drivers changed. So make sure, you set those things. Again, I'm not using Symfony. I'm going to bump to PHP. I'm not using MariaDB. And cool, we're at the bottom. Okay, so let's go back to the top. And next, let's run Composer Update, is what it said. So we reviewed all the comments for additional changes. Again, we would not have been able to run Composer Update until we went and looked at the packages that need to be removed and, Laravel Collective and all that stuff. So that's why you do comments first. Because otherwise you just would have sat here and been like, oh, Laravel Collective is, what do I do? Hey, it told you what to do. Look at this. See, now we get a nice clean install. Cool. All right, that ran successfully. So let's do a git add -p. I'm not going to do the Sentry code just yet. I will do Composer updating. Okay, cool. So we'll do, oh crap. I want a clean commit. Yeah, reset. GST git add composer. Let's just put composer in. Git commit -m. We'll say composer update. All right. And then let's do, okay, the rest of this stuff's good. So let's do this. We'll say bump Sentry. All right, let's push that up. Let's focus on getting this build passing. That refactor stuff I'm gonna do in a minute, but let's like finalize the upgrade and then I'll work on the refactoring. So I'm gonna go into the workflows. So this is strictly for the site, so I don't have to worry about anything else in the project. Okay, I know that this needs to be v4 now. It's not a big deal, but it'll warn. I'm gonna bump up to 8.4 because again, that's the goal. And then I think this is dead now. And instead I can bring in tools. Let's go look at confidentlaravel.com. Did I spell that wrong? github.com. confidentlaravel.com. Yeah, let's go look at this workflow because I just worked on this the other day and I feel like it's the exact same. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay, let's just copy this. Let's just take the rest of this. Let's cut this. Okay, so we bumped to 8.4, we bumped the actions. Now we're checking syntax through the global tool that's installed. We don't have it in here, but we should do the pint test. So let's check syntax. Let's check whoops, check code style, and let's do pint dash dash test. Is that right? Yeah, pint dash dash test. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Okay. Git add, or well, we're in a subdirectory. Git add dash a. That's gross, but I'm doing it. Okay, so git commit dash m. We'll say bump ci. Git push. Now, this will run, but it actually should fail in the test suite. It should fail in the test suite for two reasons. First of all, Confident Laravel uses pest, but I don't think this project does. So let's just be a little more universal and use that. PHP artisan test. So let's do git add dash a again, git commit dash m. We'll say fix runner, git push that again, and then let's go run this. Let's go run this so it doesn't gripe about PHP unit. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run a shift against this shift branch because it has the latest code. And yeah, let's do that. This is a free shift. So let's let this bump PHP unit 10. This shouldn't take very long. It's a pretty fast shift. Uh-oh. Was that not the right? PHP unit was not found in your composer JSON file. Is it running pest? Am I crazy? No, PHP unit's right there. What's wrong with you? Oh, is it because... See, I'm running 9. I'm running 9, but the Laravel shift bumped it to 10. Let's hack that real quick. Let's just put it back to 9.5. We'll say hack PHP unit version. Little trick there. We can just bump it down. Okay, if we run this again, let's rerun that. I think that might have been what the issue is. If not, I'll get in the logs and see what happened. What's wrong with you? Did I not get the right branch? No, I got the right branch. Let's go. Oh! No, I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. It's because it's a mono repo. That shift's not smart enough to know. It's PHP unit, so it doesn't assume that you have a Laravel project, so it actually doesn't go down and look for artisan. Probably something I should look at. See, this is why I like using shift. Okay, so here we go. If you have a mono repo and your stuff's in subdirectories and you need to have total control of where shift runs, you can make a .shiftrc file and it will look for that runtime configuration file and use that to determine the location of where shift should run. So I'm going to touch this. I'm going to add that. I'm going to create this file. I'm going to add that, and let's say force shift to use subdirectory. Git push. I'm leaving nice commits here, not only for myself, but for the viewers. You could say whip if you wanted to, but it doesn't really tell you anything. Okay, let's push this up, and then... Okay, what? It failed, so it's not gonna let me rerun it. Let me rerun it from my phone. That way I don't have to get in the server and turn off the stream. Okay, so what is this? 13136 937. Run. That should restart here in a second. There we go. Look at that, power of your phone. There we go. That's what it was. Cool. Okay. So we got some files changed. And again, from a PHP 10 perspective, all we're really looking at here is it bumps the version. I don't think that was the original issue. The true issue was that it didn't know to look in the site subdirectory for my tests. Really all it does here is it fixes annotations and uses the new PHP attributes. So it really just gets rid of those and that. And then I think it does some type hinting and then puts in final. That's a PHP unit thing. You don't have to use it, but I think that's how they declare stuff. And then the biggest one is data providers are now public static. So again, this shift just goes in, it automates all those things to make sure that you're truly running PHP unit 10. So we should, I'm going to do two things. I'm actually going to check out this branch. So let's do a git fetch, git checkout. I'm going to do, I think I need to migrate. Yeah. I need to run this for it to be happy. So let's do that. Git add -p. So it just cleans up the, yeah, it just cleans up the config file. Cool. So let's do git commit -m. We'll say bump php unit config. Let's remove that shift-rc file. Git rm.shift-rc. And then what else did we do to, let's vi composer php unit. And let's, oops, replace that. There we go. Let's go back to 10.5. All right. Git commit -m, remove hacks. Oh wait, I didn't get composer. Let's do composer update. This really shouldn't get anything, but let's just, no, don't do that. I don't even know, what is this package? It's always asking me that. Why would I allow this package to execute code? No. That seems strange. I mean, I'm glad composer warns me, but like, why? I know, not everything. Okay, let's push that up, and then I shouldn't need any of those backup files. Okay, so this, we updated the migration. This, again, just kind of educates us on what it all did. I'm just going to go ahead and squash merge this because it's going into the Laravel 11.x. Okay, cool. So now if we go back here, I think we might have everything. Let's see if the build passes. If the build passes, I'll merge it. We'll check the clock, and then I'll do some refactors just for fun. Let's see. Suspense. I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go. I don't know why it wouldn't. No, just kidding. Let's find out. Add-on controller. Oh, Pint. Okay, that's fine. We can fix that. Git checkout dash. Let's go back to the Laravel 11 shift. Let's run Pint. Looks like we got, no, Pint doesn't have, oh, I love Pint. But when the CI version doesn't match your local version, you get stuff like this, and I feel like that's kind of annoying. So yeah, see, it goes to 119. I think locally, again, I haven't run global composer update, so I'm probably still on like 118, and it's like every version, there's new lint, right, that it finds. So like, let's do two things here. Let's get into, I don't know why I keep jumping into Vim. Let's go to build, and let's lock this at 1.18.x. Git commit, git add -a, git commit -m, lock, Pint. Let's just lock it for now. Git pull -r. I forgot to get down the changes. All right, git pull, git push now. Okay, yeah, I love Pint. I love the configuration. I love the speed. But man, it's a little annoying when that happens. I'll get a build failing and like everything seems fine, and then it's like, oh yeah, Pint bumped. Pint bumped and has new rules now on how to make my code prettier. Okay, let's see if it gets a little farther. How are we on time? Oh, 29 minutes. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. Even with the chatting, I would say. I didn't chat for 9 minutes. I might have chatted for like 3. Okay. We're still upgrading a couple major versions and doing... Oh, we got some failures again? What version of Pint did this run? 18.3. What am I missing here? Pint -- version. Ooh, that's really old. Okay, my bad. Let's do this. Composer, require. There might be other reasons why I've left it so old globally. So let's just install it to this project, and we'll lock its version. We'll lock its version here. So let's do vendor bin pint. And let's change this back to 19.x, and let's go into Composer and change this to tilde, whoops, not exclamation point, tilde dot 0. There we go. So keep it on the 119 series. There we go. It picked those up. Okay. Git add -a, git commit -m, pint, git push. Okay. Let's see if it actually runs the test now. You know what? Also, too, we can just run these here in the interest of time. Now they were passing. I didn't do this. I should have demonstrated this before, but they were passing. They were passing on master. Ah, okay. I'm not going to be able to. I can't just move on. I actually have to fix this HTML reference. Okay, we need to fix these HTML references. Kind of forgot about those. Okay, let's find HTML : and let's see how we're doing these. Okay, how many do I get if I do a global replace here? Do I get a bunch or do I get none? Is regex on? No, PHP Storm's just taking forever. Come on. Okay, I get most of them. Yeah, see, search and replace. Okay, cool. So let's change this to href equals open brackets, and then we'll keep some of this. Whoa, not that much of it. We'll keep some of this. And then what I have is, I have this function called obfuscate. And this, I've put this in some other projects, but basically it HTML encodes the mail to, and it's just like a tiny, tiny little spam prevention type thing. So let's close that back out. Let's close our, don't escape the output again because it's already HTML encoded. And then next would be class equals, we're gonna need to bring those class attributes back in line to the raw HTML, and then we say email me, and then we close that new anchor tag. And we replace all those, replace them. Let's see how they look. Okay, so we have ahref obfuscate, close tags, there's our class, there's email me, great. Okay, so I just need to bring in that obfuscate little helper method. Let's see what it missed, because there were one or two. Okay, there are one or two here that it missed. Why did it miss these? Email me, null, email me. Oh, okay, they have a different, I see, they have a different class. Okay, let's just pull these apart. Bring me this. Must be a difference in the homepage style, I think. So let's bring this up, and then instead, it's that. All right. And it still says email me, replace all. Okay, so now we should be down to just the one. So HTML, there it is. Okay, and really this just becomes href equals, let's bring this mail to in to me. We'll say obfuscate, and that looks funky. Oh, yeah, okay. And then let's close our unescaped tag out. And then we kind of actually have to do, we have to say mail to here, but we actually borrow this. When you pass it null, it just uses the same thing minus the mail to part. So let's do that. So obfuscate the email address as well on the output, and then we need the class stuff, and close out the rest of that. There we go. Okay, so bring class back in here, and it's HTML now, so equals, oops, that, and that. So let's go get this obfuscate method, but let's see if the tests, well, they'll blow up on obfuscate now, right? Because there's no, do I have a helpers? Yes, I do. Do I have obfuscate? No, I don't. So again, let's jump back out to confident Laravel. And let's look at the helpers, because I'm pretty sure I used that here when I upgraded this a while back. No, I didn't. Just kidding. Base Laravel? BaseLaravel.com. Site. Where are you? So, oh yeah, site, bootstrap, helpers. There it is. All right. So again, what this does is it takes a string, it loops over it, changes it to basically HTML entities, a mix of HTML entities. And again, it's a super tiny obfuscation thing just to kind of break up Mr. Spam bots. So again, obfuscate doesn't work, so it's in there now. If we run our test again, I would hope that we pass. Nope. Still doesn't like it. What's wrong with this? Show must be ID, string given. Oh, is it like a database? Do we have a database thing here? Type error, show. Argument must be show. What's wrong with you? Oh, do I have like an incorrect type hint or something? Show int ID. Show int ID. What is this? Resource controller, web, do my routes work? PHP artisan route list. What is show on resources? Resource. Was I assuming this was a, did I get some kind of like implicit model binding that happened for me, like automatically now? ID. Yeah, that's strange. Why is it saying ID and then I clearly look for it as a string? When did this int come apart? I wonder if that got type hinted from something else. I'm going to change it to a string because that's what it is. I must have had a bad type hint in there that it picked up. That's fine. That's why we have tests. So that actually would have been the Laravel 10 shift that added the type hints. My guess is there's probably some more places in code that do that. Yeah. Okay, API rate limiter not defined. Do I even have API routes? Oh, I do. Purchasing power. Okay, so again, this was Laravel. This was an old version of Laravel. This is kind of a tricky one, and I should probably add this for a more seamless integration in the Laravel 11 upgrade. The rate limiter is automatically applied now in Laravel 11 if you just say turn on my API routes in your Bootstrap configuration. Now, of course, you can control this more specifically, and if you had customized it in any way, it'll take care of that for you, right? Shift will convert that for you and upgrade that for you correctly. But because I was coming from Laravel 9 and probably never put in the rate limiter because it was upgraded from even an older version of Laravel 9, I don't have this rate limiter. So let me show you the rate limiter. I need to get into Laravel 10 to get it though. So let's go back. And again, I think I should probably just put this in your app service provider if you're coming from an old version and don't have it. But let's fix it while we're here. So if we go into app service provider and we get into boot, we can enable this rate limiter. And let's fix, how do you fix this? Import the class. I thought I could fix it all for file, but I can't. So let's fix them one by one. That's annoying. Okay, let's see where we get now. 95 failed, that's a lot. I don't think I have that many API routes. Oh, I have a data provider though. I had a data provider for the different countries for purchasing power. So that looked like a lot of failures, but really it was just this. Okay, so good, pretty straightforward stuff here. Just while I'm thinking about it though, do I have any more places where I do int ID? No. Okay. Okay. So see, armed with a test suite, we were able to go through that. It took an extra, 5 or 6 minutes, but now we can feel pretty confident this should run up. So let's go ahead and do vendor bin PHP unit. Just make sure I didn't, oh, not PHP unit, sorry, pint. All right, let's do git add -u, git commit -m, fix failing tests, git push. Let's see if it passes in production. I just saw the tests though. When I did run PHP unit, it failed. That was strange. Oh, I think this geo client test, yeah, this geo client test, the test API key, because I'm running a data provider, I get rate limited. I want to get rid of this. I can actually use Cloudflare now. I might do a future stream on that, but Cloudflare, even with your free service, they'll send you the country code on where like the proxy request is coming from, because everything proxies through Cloudflare, and they can pass that down as like a header, like an HTTP header. So I don't even need this service anymore. I was only using it for purchasing power parity, so I kind of just need your generalized country code. So I'm not too worried that those fail. Let's see if the build is doing better. And then we'll call it done. Did this fail already? Did it fail for the same reason? If it only failed because of the, nope. Looks like I changed, oh, I ran. Did I not commit that? How's my lock file out of date? It's strange. Why is my lock file out of date? Composer lock has some error. The lock file's not up to date. I installed Pint. I must not have committed the lock file, I guess. I don't know. Git commit -m, composer update. You know what? Honestly, I kind of don't care about that check. Let's just get rid of that. I don't want to deal with that ever again. Build YAML. Just see you later. I wish you could say like without lock file. Can you do that? I don't care if the lock file is out of date. Help. Check, oh, here you go. Do not check if lock file. There we go, perfect. Let's not get rid of it if I have a composer error, but I don't care if the lock file's out of date because it'll get picked up. It'll just get picked up down here. I don't even know why I'm committing my lock file, to be honest. Who cares? I'm not a commit lock file person. I mean, I get it if you have multiple environments and you need to like slam down the version, but the only time I've ever run into that is with Pint. So anyway, cool to know that you can do that though. So let's just add it while we're at it. Git commit, come on, git commit -m, ignore lock file on check, git push. Okay, hopefully we see some green here. Just kidding. Run my tests already. Did we not push that? I don't think we pushed that up. All right. Let's see some green. Let's see some green. Let's see some green. I think we're there. I think we're there. So it's installing dependencies. We could cache those. That's something else I could do on CI. I was talking about that the other day. Oh, seems like everything. Is that a warn or a fail? Oh, just wait. Did it pass? I'm a little confused. It says it passed. Why did I get 150 warnings though? What did it warn on? I'm glad it's green, but what did authorize file get contents site.env. No such. Oh. I think, yeah, I don't have a test env file. I don't have a test env file. ls-lame. Yeah. Some of my other projects, I have a .env.testing, which just has an app key in it. I wonder if I could just copy over env example, because what it's really using is everything coming out of PHP unit, which has an app key. It just doesn't like that one's not present. That's what the warning is. Just for giggles, I wonder if I can just do this. I don't even need one, but let's just do this and see if it gets rid of those warnings. Git commit -m, bypass warnings, git push. Let's see. I mean, it ran so quick. Let's give it another 30 seconds, right? Let's give it another 30 seconds. So we should have these bypass warnings now. Just want to see if it runs a little bit cleaner. So while we're waiting on that, let's go back to the dashboard. Just want to run through these comments again. See if, while the build's passing, hopefully. So streamline the configs. Oh yeah, let's talk about streamlining the configs. We're way past the 20 minutes now, so let's finish this out properly, right? Let's just see if there's any more opportunities to streamline stuff. That's the whole point of Laravel 11. Is it just a smaller skeleton? So is there anything else I can slim in here? I mean, obviously the shift did a majority of it. I've just got some payment gateway stuff here. I think the only other thing I can slim is probably the config files. So let's just go see what it claims. See, that's not even the right path anyway. And I'm not using Redis. So let's do this. Let's get rid of that. I'm not using any API tokens, so I can slim that. I don't have any packages that have their own migrations. Plus I'm going to squash things. So I think I can get rid of that. I'm not using Markdown, so I can get rid of that. I don't even know why I have Sentry, so let's get rid of that because it can just use the defaults. I'm probably using Mailgun. For, I think I used Mailgun's free plan. What's in settings? And I do use Stripe for the checkout. So I'll need those. So I'll need to keep the Mailgun configuration and I'll need to keep the other stuff. The only thing that was in there that was a little weird, and this is one more thing I like to do actually when I'm upgrading projects, just to be super thorough, is in PHP Storm I run the undefined class bit, and I think this will probably help me find that PHP or that PDF squiggly. I would hope so. It's scanning. I don't know why it's taking so long. PHP Storm on this iMac. This iMac's a little bit old in fairness, but I found the latest versions of PHP Storm. I don't know why, but the scans and the searching, they do not go very fast. All right, let's expand these and see what's up. All right, so let's bring in, I'm just gonna fix these while we're waiting. Where's my facade? There it is. After PHP, what is this? What is this file? Bootstrap? Why do I have this? This is old. This is a very, very old. What's using this? I don't know what's using that. See you later. It's a very old thingy there. Okay, this is a real-time facade, so that's fine. Most of those. Okay, here's that PDF. So let's not reference the global alias. Let's actually import it now as PDF. Let's get the proper casing, even though PHP doesn't care. So same thing here. Let's bring in PDF facade and auth. Doesn't like auth. Oh, it's because the facade's not imported. All right, cool. Let's make sure all the tests run. PHP artisan test. I'll probably get the rate limit thing, but yeah. but do my other ones run? So I don't know what that, I think that bootstrap file was a really, really old, like Laravel 5.4 kind of thing. Again, this project's been around for a long time. Let's run vendor bin pint. Cool. -u, let's do git commit -m. Let's just say project cleanup. Cleanup, git push. All right, let's make sure that still runs. Okay, so let's review. Yeah, I think I can merge this. I probably just need to make some env tweaks for production. I don't necessarily want to put those on stream. And then, yeah, as a dog fooding thing, I think we see an opportunity. I think I saw an opportunity here to maybe refine when you get these comments. I like them from an educational perspective, but I don't like here that it kind of implied that there was something I needed to do when I didn't. So I think, again, if we go look at the files changed, and we go find my event listener, just as a little behind the scenes, or not event listener, event service provider. My guess is, yeah. Again, as a very old Laravel application, I just had this generic event listener in here that was just provided as an example. It didn't do anything. So I think I could just say, like, if I see some really old stuff like this that used to be in listeners, I could get rid of it. And I would imagine my policies were the same way, right? It probably had the app model policy. Yeah, there it is. Boom. So I think I could probably say, look, if it's just that code and app policies, model policy doesn't exist, like, ignore it, right? That would be, I think, a little smoother. So anyway, yeah, so we upgraded, I think. Let's see if the build passed. It looks like it did, or at least the most recent one did. There we go. We're green now. We're green for multiple runs, so now we're in the refactoring place. I think this is good. So we upgraded from Laravel 9. This is a medium application. I mean, it has API endpoints. It has multiple controllers. Again, armed with a test suite, I was able to quickly identify some gotchas. There were also some gotchas as far as, like, between the versions of Laravel and the fact that I had a project that had some legacy stuff in it. It wasn't totally Laravel 9. It clearly had a few relics that finally caught up with me from probably when I first built this thing. But as far as the updates, yeah, we got rid of 2 packages. Debow with the change thing, I'll probably end up squashing migrations, as I noted. We also moved away from that Laravel collective package. We could have run another shift to fix that, like we did with PHP Unit 10, but it was just for outputting email addresses. I could just output my email address, but I had that little obfuscate thing, so why not, right? Cool, so let me check the chat, see what anybody's saying, but I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and merge this while any final questions are coming in. So I think the only thing I might wanna do, let's squash merge that. I don't need all the history of me upgrading to Laravel 11. I'm fine with it just saying Laravel 11 shift. So I think the only other thing to do is probably just this. Just make sure all of these are set. Just keep an eye on those for production. I'm not too worried that the beaker strength changed, but you know, if somebody reports something, I don't think I'm using much encryption here beyond the password. And again, that Laravel will just automatically rehash that. So I don't have to worry about that because I'm not doing any custom encryption myself. But if you do have some things you're encrypting, keep that in mind. Again, that's not just a default there. This shift actually went in and said, these are things that are different in Laravel 11. You were using these before. Make sure you don't still need to use them, right? All right, let's check the chat here. Hey Samuel, how's it going? Hello from Brazil. Hello, hello. All right, cool. It doesn't seem like there's any specific questions on the upgrade. So there you go, upgraded from Laravel 9, a little before Laravel 9. I'm curious when this was originally written. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, again, like Laravel 5.6 or something. But anyway, yeah, upgraded all the way to Laravel 11. A couple major versions, did some refactors, got rid of some packages, did some code cleanup in under an hour with Shift. So cool. Anyway, thanks everyone for joining live. See you tomorrow in a different live stream and my Wednesday live stream. Just wanted to do this extra, again, to kind of demo how I use Shift. So hopefully that was fun. So see y'all next time.